In today's video, we'll be finishing up from where we stopped with the Bohemian braids by dipping the hair into hot water. If you missed the last week's video, you can check the links in the description to watch the full video on crochet braids that have been featured on this channel, especially the Bohemian Goddess single braids combination, which is the part 1 of this particular video. So in last week's video, we focused on answering questions on tips on how to make crochet braids either for personal use or to start a crochet hair business. We answered some questions related to finding vendors, or pattern to consider for your braid style, the distinction between goddess boss braids and Bohemian boss braids. Oh, we also talked about how to find vendors, attend 10 sales, talked about a lot of things, and I think you should go back and watch it if you have questions related to some of the topics that I mentioned. So I'll go right in and get into today's video. But before we start, can I ask you, how are you, my friends? I hope you are staying blessed and you're having a good day. Once I was done braiding down the hair, especially finishing up the ends of the braids, I went ahead to trim the hair off camera. I would also go ahead and use the hair mousse, as you can see me doing so on this video, to apply on the body of the braids before dipping it into hot water. I noticed that using the hair mousse on the braids before dipping in hot water helps to achieve that silk-like that end. You know what I'm saying, right? I found that it's much better to use the hair mousse first before dipping into hot water. But I mean, you can try the two methods, either like applying the mousse after dipping in hot water or applying the hair mousse before dipping into hot water, to see which one works for you. But in case you're wondering, the hair mousse is used for several purposes, but it also helps to keep the frizz, you know, all those frizz that we see on the body of the braids, in check. And also, like when you're applying it on coily hair, you will have like more defined curls. So my people, as I'm finishing up these crochet braids, I will go ahead to answer some questions that are related to crochet hair making in general. So I have a lot of questions that I've written out, a lot, and I don't think I'll be able to answer all questions in this video. So here is what I think, and here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this a series. So for every crochet braid that will be featured on this channel, I will answer the questions that I have compiled. Like wherever we stop, we'll carry over the question to the next video. Yes. So don't forget to include your questions in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And remember, we're all learning together. So as you're asking questions or as we're sharing ideas, other people are learning. I'm learning too. We're all learning. Okay? So the first question that I have here for today is, how long does it take to work on crochet braids? Oh yeah? Okay, so it all depends on the style, the length, the hair texture, and other related activities, such as resting, izuike, yes, eating, very important, editing and filming the video at the same time when you're producing the crochet braids, having other engagement like full-time job. I mean, life happens, hanging out with friends and doing other activities might also add up to the number of hours. It might take you a couple of days. I usually batch my crochet hair making, or like my hair content videos, in days. I don't film in one day. Like I didn't take account of the number of hours it took in making this particular crochet braids, but I will try to time myself in the next video I'll be making, and I'll provide an update in the comments so we have an idea. But in general, I would say it takes between 4 to 10 hours depending on individual speed and the style. Because if you're going for like micro braids, small braids, the time it would take you would be different from someone else who is working on a medium large, a medium, or a large. Alright? So talking about speed, I noticed, and this is based on my own experience, that your speed keep improving with constant practice and mastery of the craft. If you are just starting out, I would recommend you focus on learning the craft first, making sure your braids are like consistent and neat, especially if you're braiding someone's hair. Aside from crochet braids, I will insert a photo of my previous braids Oh no. To be honest, I'm not proud of my work previously, but like I said, we're getting better, we're improving. I'm getting better, I'm improving, but it took a lot of practice to be here. So another thing to take note of in making your crochet braids neat, or to make your braids neat in general, is to learn how to tuck in hair properly. I mean, tucking in hair is an entire different topic on its own, but I'm also going to mention it here that aside from the fact that you're braiding, if you're going to get any braid style, please ask your stylist if they can tuck in your hair. Tucking in your hair is also a great way to protect your hair. Yes, it's a protective style. So tucking in your hair into the hair extension protects the hair. You know what? I'll just leave this conversation for a different day so that I will be demonstrating how to tuck in the hair while we discuss the topic. I think it will make more sense doing it that way. So back to planning. I use myself as an example here. So because I have other engagement aside from my creative ventures here on YouTube, I like to plan out the hairstyle. I like to sort out the hair ahead of time, even arranging them by the styles, and then using like the hair hanger to prep the hair on the hangers, like depending on the style, even down to choosing colors if I'm going to be working on a custom blend. In fact, I'm just going to include a clip of me sorting out hair as of yesterday that I'll be using to make the next set of videos on this channel. But the interesting thing about this particular set of hair that I'm going to make it so dear to my heart is that all the crochet braids, braided wig, and ponytail braids that I'll be making here will be donated to an organization here in Toronto that works with women in shelter. All right, I know like I switched topics. Let's get back to crochet, please. Forgive me. So after we're done with the planning and preparation stage, the next stage will be the execution stage. This is where the main work is done. This is where the work is. So here you will be styling and braiding and producing the crochet braids. So my first advice when you get to the execution stage is to determine the number of time you have and then batch accordingly. So if you have 1 hour daily, try to maximize the 1 hour you have into producing as much as you can. Like, speed is important, but remember, we want our braids to be neat and consistent, especially if we are going to be selling this crochet braid. But even if you're not selling them, even for personal use, you want to come out and everybody's complimenting your style. Girl, you're beautiful. Hey, Maka. While braiding, you can also use this time to meditate or even listen to audiobooks, music, or video in the background. For me, I like using this time to listen to Christian messages, podcasts, audiobooks, catching up with YouTube videos of sub creators. I just think that this is also a time for me, for my personal development. So I try to have music or videos or something playing in the background in general. That way I don't get bored, just because also I'm working on the braids late at night, so it keeps me busy and keeps me awake. Yes. Another consideration here is taking care of your health. Your health is important. Remember to take time away from styling and braiding. Practice hand exercises. There are lots of them online. Many exercises you can practice, but hand exercises are very important to help release the tension on your hand when braiding. All right, thank you so much for watching to this extent. We will stop at this point, but don't forget to like and subscribe. But most importantly, to use the comment to share more ideas that you have about crochet braids and any question you may have. This is the final outcome of the braids. All right, stay blessed, productive, and have a great day. Bye. Kenesiano.